Come on down, folks. You are listening to the next episode of the Double Stuff Podcast. I'm Charity.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Dan.
And as you probably guessed, we are talking about game shows.
Yay.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so...
Yeah.
So first question, do you guys like game shows? Because for me, I feel like it sort of goes with what we were discussing in a previous episode about guilty pleasures, that I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I like game shows, because I sometimes feel like that might be an old lady thing, just like sitting there yelling at the TV, go, that's not the correct answer.
Well,
You know?
if you say it like that, then yeah. It's true. I watch TV with Charity all the time, and she always sounds like an old woman.
I do talk in random voices, though, which is something we can discuss later. But I think my favorite, probably not a favorite, but a good go-to game show is Family Feud. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh, yeah.
I also like Ellen's Game of Games. If you guys watch that, those are always kind of fun. But do you guys watch game shows or have a favorite?
Oh yeah, game shows are great. Although Family Feud is kind of raunchy.
It's become that
It's
way, yeah.
pretty raunchy. Like it's kind of like, okay, let's not watch this one, girls. They're asking, what is that? Why is that funny?
You got to educate them now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
We'll discuss this next year. We'll revisit the episode.
It's true. If you want to show how naive Sarah is, just watch some of those. I'll be like, I guess that's funny for reasons I don't know, and ignorance is bliss sometimes.
But the classics still hold up. I mean, Wheel of
yeah.
Fortune.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jeopardy.
I'm a
I
big
can
Jeopardy
sit down.
fan.
If
That's
it's
what I am.
on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, Family Feud is a pretty old show.
Oh yeah, well it
Back
still
to-
stands out.
yeah.
I enjoy the Family Feud, and I think Steve Harvey is awesome.
That
at
is
it.
true. I
He's
do like
the
Steve
best
Harvey.
host by far,
Mhm.
but I'm uncomfortable watching it as a family.
That's
as
true.
we feud.
And see,
I
I've
just
never-
wonder
I've never
where
been a big Family
some of
Feud
those
fan.
questions come from.
So I've never been a big Family Feud fan. I just can't. I don't think I understand it more than anything else.
Well, I mean, I used to watch the original, like the one from the 70s.
Richard Dawson?
Richard Dawson, where he kissed all the ladies, where as
Before the Me
unhygienic-
Too movement.
Before that, but I will say, I used to be kind of jealous. I'm like, man, some people just can't get a break. Am I ever going to get a kiss? And it has, I know it has nothing to do with the game show.
little tiny Sarah wants to get a kiss from old
My
Richard
first
Dawson.
kiss. I'll have to get on Family Feud. Come on, Harmons. Let's go to Burbank, California.
I know, no, that's not the only way I'll get a kiss, but just watching on TV, I'm just like, man. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the game show. That's just called Sarah's Mind Wanders. But
I really like Jeopardy though.
I appreciate
I used
your
to watch
honesty.
Jeopardy every day, and I think it's awesome. And then Price is Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Price
See,
is
I
Right.
don't like that one. That one, like, I just find annoying.
I don't like it anymore. I used to like it a lot, but I don't like it anymore as much.
like The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal, they kind of go hand in hand of kind of like extreme. And again, referring back to our introvert extrovert thing, I don't think I'm not that enthusiastic to just start screaming up and
Sarah
down.
would just sit there and politely raise her hand, like, "Oh,
Be like,
pick me.
Yeah,
I would like to have a turn,
yeah.
please."
I think I could win $10,000. Yes.
Well, and that game show doesn't require too much skill. Like, you just it's by chance. You have to guess.
Yeah.
I know everyone says there's a method to it, but even so, like, a lot of it's still guessing.
Are you talking about
Sure.
Deal or No Deal?
Ooh, I haven't watched
yeah.
that in a while. Yeah.
I never really got into
I
it.
didn't either because I thought that was just all kind of guessing. I never really cared for that at all.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
Wants to Be a Millionaire? That was good when
I
it
like
first
that
came
because it's
out.
Trivia.
Kinda got
yeah,
played
I like
out.
anything that has to do with trivia, really.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember The Weakest Link?
Oh
and they're bringing
yeah.
it back.
That was big back
They're
in
bringing-
like junior
they're
high.
bringing it
Yeah,
back,
they're bringing
really?
it back with Jane Lynch, I think, as the host.
I can totally see her doing that.
She's perfect.
I can totally see her
I
doing that.
approve of their choice.
Yeah, well, speaking of game shows being brought back, and it's probably the only one that I could be a part of, is Supermarket Sweep.
They're showing the old ones on
Oh,
Netflix.
wow.
Yeah, did you ever watch that,
Nope,
Dan?
that one I'm not familiar with.
I
Okay.
watched Supermarket Sweep.
Basically, if
I love that
it's a
show.
show that I can do because I go grocery shopping.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you have to. It depends on what the game is, but yeah, like go on YouTube and just type in Supermarket Sweep.
Well, I was saying, if you go on Netflix, they're showing
Net-
episodes now.
Netflix are showing the old episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is basically a game show with groceries. So sometimes it could be like a jumbled word and you have to solve it, and it could be like Little Debbie, or
Or you got to know the brand names of stuff, or like
Yeah.
the price of something,
yeah.
or whatever.
And then at the end, or not the end, but like near like the climax of the show, is that you have your two contestants you have a pair of contestants, per, and you're each given a shopping cart, and you have what, like a minute, 2 minutes?
I think it's a minute. Yeah, a minute.
I think it's a minute or something, and you have to get like as much like high priced things like the meat, like that's the high price meat because it's like 10 something a pound or something like that, and
whatever
end,
your total is at the end, that's who wins.
Yeah, so the much money you get from your spree, that's how you win. You give them 1 minute to find certain clues, and you can win the $10,000 or however much it is. That'd be the only game show I can do because groceries never go out of style. The brands might change, but it's more name brand stuff. And I must admit, I'm really good with off-brand stuff too. So.
Yeah, if there's an Aldi's version of Supermarket Sweep, I'm all over that. We would totally win.
Be like Mama Cozy's for $5
in Millville. Cereal and we're cheap.
Charity found the frozen turkeys, but she doesn't know it's buy one get four free. She's only
but like in terms of game shows, because I'm not the most current person, and a lot of the game shows now obviously is based on pop culture and stuff like that. But if I was alive, going back to our episode about time travel with a B because I like to go further. Time travel. A lot of those like Name That Tune, which I could do if it was music. If it was from like the 40s and 50s, I'd be all over that. Or Kay Kaiser, he was a famous conductor, but he had a radio show called Kay Kaiser's College of Musical Knowledge. College with a K because 40s were cool like that. And so basically, you get
he would dress up.
Yeah. Maybe that's the irony of it, but it was kind of like a Name That Tune. Like you would have to identify the pop culture stuff of the 40s, which of course is not relevant now, but I would be all over.
Well, this kind of goes with my next question because you would rather be on a game show that you have some knowledge of, and so the game show that I thought about, and I don't even know if it's still on, it's the American Bible Challenge that Jeff Foxworthy hosted. And he would ask questions that have to do with the Bible and, theology and stuff. And Sarah and I are pastors' kids. We've grown up on all the Bible stories and everything since
what
birth.
What happens if you lose?
You go to hell. They already have the trap door.
There's a trap door with flames.
Smoke and fire. You hear
Apparently, the devil sounds like the Count from Sesame Street, according to Sarah. No, but all the contestants play for a charity.
Oh my god!
Well, all the contestants play for a charity, and then
I'm playing for my charity, which works out.
But you'll have like a group of nuns playing, or some priests playing, or pastors playing, or whatever.
Really
but I always felt so smart with that game show because I knew all the answers.
I think you have to be really careful if you're a group of nuns playing that, or like a group of like pastors, because once you're bad at it, that'd just be embarrassing.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
It's like
it's okay. They can just repent.
I like how we're so casual. The other contestants are hellbound, but they just like, oh, it's okay. Wait till next time, guys.
That's right.
Was this before or after Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I think it was after.
See,
we don't have cable anymore because we used to have the game show channel, but I think it was after. But I did watch Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and apparently fifth grade classes have changed since I was in fifth grade, because I'm like, I didn't learn this until high school.
Right. No, that's an accurate. I mean, having a fifth grader, I know for a fact
that's changed.
It's changed because like this past year, her homework was hold on, let me wait a second. I don't know.
Well, I used to tutor fifth graders when I started college. I went to Sterling College, and for one of our credits, we were required to do community service and stuff like that. And on the campus was an elementary school, and so I signed up to tutor fifth graders. And I was like, "Oh, fifth grade, I got this." And obviously, if you guys know me, you know this is terrible. I had to tutor math. Ooh. I am terrible at math in most any form, and so I'm sitting here, big bag college student, freshman. I'm like, give me a second. Let's go over these instructions. And
Charity had to have a tutor to tutor her so she could tutor the kids.
Well, thankfully, I had a smart fifth grader that she didn't need too much help. I basically just read the instructions, and I was like,
so she tutored you.
No, but I was like, well, see, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find for X and do this and that. And I was like, God, please let her understand what I'm saying, because I sure don't.
if she gets an F, it would be all your fault.
Yeah. So as far as are you smarter than a fifth grader, I could probably handle like the English classes and English answers, but
English and
if we get to math and science and maybe a bit of history, like we're screwed.
History I can handle. History, because I'm pretty good at memorizing dates, and I'm really good at learning, because like that was one of the few things that I learned in first grade. That's when I realized I was good at history, because I was actually recognizing dates.
Yeah.
At 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. So I've always enjoyed that.
I hated history until for some reason, I just realized, wait, these are just stories. And I love stories.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I loved history.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were talking about with math, I actually learned from a game show that we call math here in the U.S., but in England they call it math.
That's so funny.
And I learned it from a I assume it's popular. I think it's hilarious. I think it's a kind of an after hours game show. It's called 8 out of 10 Cats.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Numbers or 8 out of
I don't know that
10
one.
Cats does. I think
a lot of British comedians do that game.
I can't remember. Yeah, it's hilarious. That's a lot of fun. But here's a little offshoot of a 90s game show that didn't really take off, but I enjoyed watching with my mother. And it was around when I was like 11 or 12. It was called Bumper Stumpers. Have you guys ever heard of Bumper Stumpers?
No.
Okay, think of vanity license plates on the back of cars, like how you can try to spell things, and then you're trying to figure it out as you're driving. Well, they made a game show out of that.
I like that
where
idea.
you're trying to figure out what the word is that's hidden in the vanity plate or whatever.
Oh, they should totally bring that
back. It was a lot of fun.
There's so many weird licenses. Like me and Charity see that when we're driving, and some of those are pretty clever. I'm like, you have to really give some thought.
Yeah. Well, from that show. Go ahead, Dan.
You can do that with text messages too.
That's true.
Ooh,
I think they do. I think there's like a YouTube show my daughter was watching. She was trying to get me interested in, and it's about like emojis.
I was going to say there's emojis. Yeah.
Yes.
You have to guess what
okay,
they're
then
saying.
that's what it is. And she was having a ball watching it, and I'm just too old. I'm like, I don't get it.
Last thing I want to do is have something that's going to show my age too much. And especially just coming from a young person that watches things that a centenarian would watch.
Yeah.
Like, what are these newfangled smarty phones? You know?
Wow.
When I'm used, back in my day, we had to paste it on the wall. We had to ring it up and call the operator.
We had 2 cups on a string.
You guys practice the old lady voice way too much. I think I think we're getting a peek into the real voices.
Well, if you remember a little puppet show we did,
I love that.
The Fairy God Granny. That was me.
That's my youngest's favorite. Just our cookies.
Really?
Just us cookies.
I love it. I love it that your daughters watch that. Yeah. That actually makes me really happy. Hopefully, we're still entertaining.
To be honest, I'm surprised anybody watches some of those.
They're great. I love it.
But talking about, I think one of the questions, I don't know if Charity brought it up, when we were talking about the game shows, we were talking about what would you prefer? Would you prefer to be a contestant, or would you prefer to be the game show host?
Oh, contestant. Going back to like Double Dare, like going on the tricycle on the ice and going on like the goose slide through the giant nose and trying to find the flag in like the big nostril and things like that. Oh yeah, that looked like fun.
I would only want to be a contestant if I had a good team. Because I need to walk in there feeling confident that I can kick the other team's butt. And so if I'm walking in and I've got little Scrawny McGee and we're supposed to be doing like The Floor is Lava. Have you guys seen that on Netflix?
That's what I was going to ask about. Yeah, if you guys have seen that.
I've watched those shows, and like there's these big buff guys like trying to show off and stuff until they totally slip and fall into the lava, or there's these little skinny girls that make it to the very end. I'm like, see, you got to have a decent team. You can't be showing off and playing around, you know.
You count that as a game show? Like The Floor is Lava?
I would think so.
I used to watch
it's
like
more
Wipeout,
of a physical.
and I really liked Wipeout a lot.
Oh, Wipeout.
Yeah.
I love Wipeout.
Wipeout is called, let's see how many bones that could have been broken.
Well, I'm sure many waivers are signed before they participate.
Called, let's play liability.
Oh yeah.
That's totally.
And at
No.
the end, when they're running the credits and they show just all the wipeouts that didn't make it into the show, I loved Wipeout.
Oh
So you mentioned like
gosh.
The Floor Is Lava. That's like like Netflix, Hulu, right? One of those.
That is
streaming
Netflix,
ones.
yes.
So do you think that like the traditional game show has a place in like a more streaming based culture, or is that like is that like a relic of like the must see TV or appointment television?
I think
I
if
think it's a
you
mixture, maybe.
yeah, if you're going for outrageousness, I think you're risking flash in the pan, like a lot of interest up front, but it can't really be sustained, especially if it's like a one trick pony. Whereas, like what we're talking about with these long running shows, there's so much variety, be it Jeopardy, where the variety is in like the categories and the history and the questions, or be it in Price is Right, where the variety is what's the showcase going to be? Is it going to be a sucky showcase, or is it going to be like one that you're like, whoa, that's pretty awesome? You get an RV and mopeds.
But it's weird that we haven't seen. It's weird that we haven't seen like a lot of game shows on the stream, like original game shows, or even like the current game shows that are brought to streaming services. I mean, it's kind of like late night television. There are just certain like types of shows that I feel like haven't really lend themselves or found an audience with a streaming audience.
No, but they're still on TV though, because like Whammy still comes on, which is basically you're just winning money and trying not to get it, you know, deleted. And then there's
like a not password, but
that or was it Pyramid? I think that's what it's called. The $1,000 pyramid or whatever. And then Match Game still comes on, which that show's kind of stupid, but the only thing that makes it fun is that you have celebrities giving their answers.
I think that's
that's what brings a viewer in.
I think that's why it's still around, because it's very celebrity saturated. So if your favorite actor or actress is going to be on it, I mean, it's not even just game shows, but since that is our topic, that you're more apt to watch it because you want to see, will he or she win, or will they get the answer right, or something like that. But see, I've always been curious, especially once the 2000s hit and we started getting more of that reality show thing, kind of like when Fear Factor came out.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that
it came back.
It did come back.
It did come back. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that fell under the category of game show. I mean, because there is stakes involved. It's just like, you know, to the max, but you still get your points until you do have to win. So I guess in the most skeletal thing, it is considered a game show. It's just not what we consider the televised, like we've been talking about, like Price is Right and that.
Well, it's like what Alan said earlier. It's either a game of like mental knowledge or skill, and so you know sometimes they're doing ropes on this high course, or they have to answer questions. If not, you have to eat a tarantula or something. Like it's basically the same thing. Like you do the things, you win the money. You don't do the things correctly, you don't get the money.
Well, and that kind of came out like towards the end of the 90s, where there was kind of like a revolt, I guess, against the traditional game show. It wasn't so much the game itself. It was, let's learn about the contestants. And I'm talking about like MTV's Road Rules and things like that, where it was more about the people that were on the show rather than the game itself, and then which spawned Survivor and the Great Race or whatever,
Big Brother,
Big Brother, and but now it seems like people the pendulum is swinging again. I mean, there was I don't know if it was the first kind of YouTube show to kind of make the leap from a YouTube show to a game show, but if you guys have ever heard of Hot Ones,
Wings. Oh yes, I know you're gonna
Hot Ones jumped from just being kind of a really quirky interview style that would break the person that was being interviewed down to their lowest point while they were being asked questions, and now it's made a leap to
it's on True TV. I believe.
True TV.
See, I miss out on all this stuff because I don't watch television, like traditional television. So all my games.
No, I'm saying this started out as
YouTube. Now it's on TV,
but now it's on you.
See,
now
I'm not going to watch that if it's on TV because I'm just not.
I don't know how
have access to it.
I haven't seen it, so I don't want to. I don't want to poo-poo it. But
I haven't seen it either.
But I love and it's still going. The web series, the YouTube channel is still going. For Hot Ones, so that's interesting.
So if the four of us were on a game show together, what do you think we would be good at? Because I have no confidence in our physical ability, to be honest. Like I feel like I could do decent, but I'm not.
Oh, that's part of it though, is to do just like outrageous things, and
Yeah,
then
whatever.
there's Alan hanging upside down by his underwear.
So
underwear. What kind of game show is this
So
going
Alan
into?
will probably go on Wipeout.
My old
Apparently-
timey Goldsmith like long underwears with the buttons in the back.
I like how it ends with him in these old school long johns.
Why are you wearing those?
Because they're comfy.
But yeah, what game show do you think we would be good at, either individually or all together as a team? What do you think we'd be good at?
I think we're good at word games. I think we'd probably do pretty good at.
There's that crossword puzzle game show, isn't it? Is that still on? That's a very old lady sort. We can do the New York Times crossword game.
For some reason in
after
my
we
head,
watched Matlock,
you were saying cross and then old, and I was thinking, what cross stitch? We're like, who can
The
finish
cross
first?
stitch games.
Cross stitch first.
knit 1, purl 0.
It's like not CrossFit, cross stitch. There's a
Cross
difference.
Stitch Wars.
Oh my gosh! Like we could totally
A
make
cross stitch game
No,
show.
because Dan said cross stitch wars. We could totally bank on that. The contestants cannot be over or under the age of 70, right? And they had to have been. It's like
Here's your pattern. Go.
I would lose majorly. Like we were talking about arts in a different episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the fabric arts. Is that what it's called?
Textiles.
Textiles,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
something. Anyway, I don't do that stuff. That's a
okay.
form of arts I haven't
That's
done.
the part
so
about would you be a contestant or a host? I would totally be the host for that one.
Mhm.
I'd be like,
yeah, I don't think we'd be.
Start your knitters.
I don't think we would make a good team on any game show because
Rev up your looms.
my
Why does that sound like a
competitive side would come
euphemism?
out.
What the heck, Alan? Everything's a euphemism with him.
Dan,
I'd
do you
watch
have-
that?
Dan, do you have an idea about a game show?
Probably just no. I don't have any ideas for. I'm probably just like trivia is like what I would probably be bad. I mean, I used to do Scholars Bowl in school.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want us to go on one of those smart shows?
Oh yeah, the smart shows.
I think we have the ability to do something that deals with like wordplay or some kind of I don't remember what it was called. Me and Charity used to watch it a lot. It was kind of similar to like that text twist game where you
Wasn't
had
it like a passphrase game or something like that, where like one person had a word and they had to like
password, right?
password. Is that what it is?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, where random reference. Me and Cherry talk about this a lot. So there's
I already know you're going with
okay.
this.
So in our first season, we talked about TV themes. I talked about The Odd Couple. There's an episode on The Odd Couple where Felix and Oscar go on to Password, and back then it was hosted by a guy named Alan Ludden, which was Betty White's husband, and so you have to give like a word, like say the word is bicycle, and you have to try to figure out. You're giving like one word, so you like ride, and hopefully the person will say bicycle or something. So one of the words was
Ridiculous.
ridiculous, and so Felix says Aristophanes, and so he looks at him like, what am I supposed to get out of Aristophanes? And it was supposed to be ridiculous, which apparently, or like pencil, and it was supposed to be graphite, but I figure we could do that. But I feel like if we did do that, me and Charity would probably be good at it because of us being sisters, our cues would be inside jokes, and we'd probably get it. So it'll be a 2-sided game unless Alan and Dan can figure out some kind of chemistry they have to be able to solve.
You guys do that. Alan and I'll go on Wipeout.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What, and then see you hanging by your underwear on a beach ball or something?
I don't even think I'd make it that far. Here's Alan at the storyline. Oh, he tripped.
Oh, he's gone. Actually,
So basically, you guys are not going to go on American Ninja Warrior. You're just going to go on Wipeout and wipe
That's a
out
good
within the
show,
first.
though.
That is a good show.
that's
Yeah.
true because we are Dan has already told us about his athletic prowess. He would be great.
That's why I said I have no confidence in our ability on a team that has to do any sort of physical.
Nothing
physical
physical.
work.
It'd be totally Brainiac.
Oh, we could definitely be a
brainy.
bowling team, though.
Oh, I go
Bowling?
bowling.
Wow, nerd alert!
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
yeah, bowling's
Bowling?
great.
Love
That's
bowling.
not a game show.
It
It could be.
Okay, so basically, we have to create a game show that we can do because no other game show fits the four of us.
Yeah, pretty
That's true.
much.
We'd have to create
Pretty
something
much.
that fits us.
Double stuffed extreme.
Double the host, or double the contestants, double the host.
Double
and
the
it's
danger.
7 hours long.
Well, and on that sad reality of the fact that there is no game show out there for us, we will end this episode. Thanks everyone for listening, and let us know what your favorite game show is. Thanks for listening to today's episode. You can find other episodes on doublestuffpod.com or on your favorite podcast apps. You can also participate in the fun on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast and on Twitter at Double Stuff P. That's the letter P.